No, it's flooding. It's literally flooding. Can you help me? Jesus Christ, what a design flaw. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Now, all of the naysayers who have been grumbling in the comments below throughout the real world cheap Range Rover family ownership series on this channel, you're going to be able to say in the comments below on this video, I told you so. I told you that that was going to ruin you, because yes, our Range Rover is properly broken. It's trying to write itself off. I can't quite believe just how bad this issue is. And I think it's for a really shocking design flaw that all of these Range Rovers have, if you've got a panoramic sunroof. But for the benefit of those who have just stumbled across this channel for the first time, I've got this cheap 2013 L405 autobiography Range Rover SD V8 to be our primary family car. And for the last little over a year now, it's actually not been as bad as what we thought. In fact, it's won me over, and I've started to really love this car, but that's changed now. Since last week, I don't love it anymore. And truth be told, if I could snap my fingers right now and this car be sold and gone and out of my life, and I'll just go and buy something sensible like we had before, BMW X5, which was trouble-free motoring for 6 years, I would snap my fingers and get rid of it. But once I show you what's wrong with this particular car, it's going to make it very hard for me to sell. And for that reason alone, my honesty in these videos, if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, come on, give it a sub. Right, look, let me show you the problem. So we first noticed a bit of a damp smell in this car about a month ago. But it was also around the time that we noticed that one of our children's water bottles was on the footwell and the lid wasn't on properly and half of the water in it had drained out into the carpet. So I just assumed it was that. Then a couple of weeks later, my wife told me that she was hearing a crackling sound from the speakers, and then the speakers stopped working entirely, along with her parking sensors as well. And I did a bit of digging around online and found out that the amplifier is actually, I believe, underneath the passenger seat here on the front, in sort of like a low point, which, I mean, that alone's a bit of a bad design feature, really, isn't it? Because if there's any moisture, any water that gets into the carpet, it could make its way down.
My baby's in that seat.
Your baby's in that seat? Yeah. Where? Anyway, so I thought that basically the water bottle had fried the amplifier. But then last week, when we had very, very heavy rain, I came into the car to drive it to go and do a club run, and there was water pouring into the car, up here by the B pillar, literally pouring in, coming down all of the leather and into the carpet. And that's when I noticed that the carpet was absolutely sopping wet. Now, my first thought was maybe the roof drains are clogged, because look, any car, regardless, JLR product or any car, it's got a panoramic sunroof. They've got rainwater drains on them, haven't they? And look, quite often you can get little bits of gunk, bits of leaves and things like that can clog it up. And then if that gets clogged up, obviously it can overflow and spill into the car. So I thought it was that. And so I moved the panoramic sunroof back and then had a look. Worryingly, this one, I could actually see daylight through it, which indicates to me that the drain hose is no longer connected, and that is where the water is pouring through. I then did a bit more digging around online and found out that it seems that I'm not the only person who's having this issue. Lots of JLR cars, including I think some maybe of the L322 generations, the sports, everything as well, the panoramic sunroofs, I think there is an issue with where the drain hose connects to the rainwater gully for the panoramic sunroof. That connector can corrode when it comes in contact with water, which is outrageous. If this is true, it's absolutely outrageous. What a fundamental design flaw. And basically for the last week, I've been out here wrestling with putting plastic covers over the top of the roof because we've had so much rain, and stressing about it, and using a carpet vacuum cleaner, a wet vac, to suck all the moisture out of this carpet. But the most worrying thing of all, I think, is that underneath this carpet, there's loads of water, and there's other modules down here as well. So I'm really concerned that it's going to start frying more and more modules. And the fact is, if I don't address this, if I don't sort it out, if you just left it, eventually it would just start frying all of your electrics in the car. Your whole car would just fill up with water, which I just can't believe. So look, what I need to do now in this video, Hopefully I should be able to fix this, because look, I've got no mechanical knowledge. You know, I don't work on cars myself, but this isn't a mechanical problem, is it? It's a plumbing problem. And in a past life, I am actually a qualified plumber. So if I can't sort this out, it's a bit embarrassing, isn't it? So I need to start getting these trim pieces off and having a look and seeing if it is this crazy design flaw that is causing this car to try and write itself off. And that's got a cable on it. Right, and then get this last bit trimmed down. First move the headrest down on our lovely matching ivory leather 4-across Multimac, the world's only 4-across child seat, and they do 3-across as well. Oh, that one came off nice and easy. Now next up I believe is going to be getting this vent out with the light, and oh, is it just going to pop off? I think this might be worth a Google just before I force it off and break something. Right, so I found a Land Rover technical bulletin online of how to remove the headliner and to remove these vents, and it's really, really helpful. It just shows you just jam a screwdriver into here and take each of these vents out individually so that you can access the bolts to remove the whole thing. But that's it. He'll probably be busy, but I might as well try Tom Lenful. I'll try and FaceTime him and see if he answers.
Hello, Ben.
Hello, Tom.
What can I do for you, mate?
Just a real quick one. I won't go into the full detail. Well, the Range Rover,
Yeah.
it's got a serious leak. It under the carpet is like it's like a swimming pool. Yeah, it's dreadful. But I've ordered a little bit to try and do it, because in my opinion, this is a plumbing problem, and I was a plumber by trade, so I should be able to do this. But I've got so far. I've started taking stuff down. I'm stuck on these vents. There's a Land Rover technical guide online which says
just remove vent.
which just says, oh, just pop a screwdriver in and pop each of these vents out so you can get to the bolts. But I can't see how I can do that without damaging it. I didn't know if you or anybody else there has...
If there was a secret.
Yeah, if there's like attackers.
That doesn't sound right to me.
Okay, all right. I'll have a little poke around if you hear of anything.
I'll go and go and do a little bit of research. I'll come back to you.
Okay.
Right.
And then when I call you back saying that I've snapped it, you've got one.
Yeah, they come up into the office and tell me that as well, and then I have to buy a new one. But don't do that, because you can't buy a new anything at the moment.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah. Wow. They can't keep the cyber attackers out, and I can't keep the water out of this. So there's. Right. So Tom and his techs down there have said ignore that diagram saying jam a screwdriver in here. They reckon it's more likely that there'll be tabs like above or below that you ram something in and it will release it. So I'm just going to have to be brutal, aren't I? Just go for it, because I've wasted about an hour just on, oh, hang on. Oh my goodness. I've got a tool here which is from my kid's Play-Doh set. I think we've got it. Oh, Jesus Christ, that was tricky. Right, the top's out and the bottom. God, if I was doing this with a screwdriver, this would all be absolutely mangled. You bugger. Oh my God, I can't believe how hard this is. Oh, it's like it only lets me do one side at a time. And then it like pinches the other side, so it won't let it come out that side. You sod. Oh my goodness me. Why was that so hard? Why? Over an hour I've been trying to get that out. I even called Tom Lenful.
Did you?
And he told me don't try and put a screwdriver in here and get this out, which is what it was telling me online. But luckily, it was the girls' Play-Doh tools.
Yeah.
So if anyone's watching this video in the future because they want to know how to get the double vent, the dual vent out of the back of one of these Range Rovers, basically what you do is you get a child's Play-Doh toy and then you jam it in the bottom. There's two big chunky plastic clips on both sides. Such a rare bit of trim which isn't covered in leather, it's just plastic. I'm not looking forward to putting all this back together. Oh God, what a nightmare. Right, so the moment of truth, let's have a look and see why we are getting so, oh my God. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. It's literally completely detached. Hang on, look, let me get my phone and I'll show you. So, look, there, I've not done anything. I've not touched it yet. But can you see that there? That is the drain hole. There is no pipe attached to that at all. So where is the pipe? Right, so look, there is the pipe. It's completely detached because whatever they used, God, to connect it is completely corroded. Completely corroded. That looks as rusty as the steel used in my Mercedes Vito. From factory, these high-end luxury cars with panoramic sunroofs, the drains were connected to those gullies at the top using a metal that would corrode when it comes into contact with water. Mental, absolutely crazy. And my guess is that, I don't know, I'll look into it, but unless the later revisions of the L405, unless they addressed that and used an appropriate material instead, I reckon that certainly a lot of these early L405s, this is going to be a problem that is starting to now trigger for other people as well. My lovely friend Stephen then popped round to see how I was getting on and kindly offered to lend a hand getting the rest of the roof liner down. Even though I know how to take it out, it's obviously because I haven't got the right tool. There you go. Look at that, 9 minutes that took me. The next day, I set about trying to get all of this rusted steel out of the drain hose. I also needed to clear up all of the corrosion around the actual drain hole, but fortunately the new connector that I've got is actually larger, so I would be doing this by drilling it out anyway. Right, so what it looks like to me is that these panoramic sunroof guttering, drainage for the rainwater, this piece is made of steel, I believe, and it's, been painted in, I assume, just some waterproof paint. But the connector for the hose to go on, it's all part of the moulding. So it's like, like a male exit point, which is actually part of this moulding. And that makes sense. They just chose the wrong material to use. It shouldn't have been a rustable material to use for rainwater guttering, which would lead to, if it failed, the car flooding and frying the electric modules, which even after I fix this, I'm going to do both sides, because even though that one over there hasn't yet failed, it's well on its way. But I need to then have a look under the carpet and see the extent of the flood damage and how many electrical modules have been affected. And yeah, I know I've got to get a new amplifier, but there might be some other stuff as well. But now I'm going to do my plumbing fix. I got these brass fittings, they come in a kit of 2. I got them online. I think you can get a load of them from overseas for cheapest, but I paid for a UK stockist to get this a bit quicker. And I've seen a lot of people online using like epoxy and other types of sealants and things like that. But as this is flared, it's kind of like an olive. And it's got a thread on there as well, which is kind of like a nut which can tighten underneath. So I'm going to use PTFE, which is what a plumber would use with an olive and a threaded joint. Right, so it's in, It's a little bit fiddlier than I thought it would be, but I've got that lovely and tight, load of PTFE all over it as well. And I was a little bit worried because it looked like the pipe runs down and then up. But I checked over the other side, which is still as it would have been from the factory, but it does the same over there. But the moment of truth now is to test it. Will the water run out and come down by the rear wheel arch? Well, it doesn't look like it's draining through. Oh God. So it's possible that the pipe has also got a blockage on it. Now I made sure I got rid of all of the visible fragments of rusted steel, but maybe some of the bits have sort of come down through the pipe as well. Oh God, what a pain. I then tried to rod out the blockage with some strimmer line, but unfortunately it didn't work.
You fixed my car yet?
This is a nightmare, honestly. I thought half a day yesterday and today would be enough time to get this done and get it pretty much back together, but we're nowhere near it. So the final thing I'm going to try, we've got this pump, which is, well, it's for gymnastics air tracks, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
you can inflate and deflate.
Yeah. So it's pretty. So basically, right, it'll be hallelujah if you just see something, a little spurt of water or something like come out from the back of your car here. Otherwise, I don't know. Perfect snug fit, mate. Look at that. Literally, just like goes onto that attachment perfectly. Right, you ready?
Where are we looking? Shall I put it down here?
Well, yeah. Alright.
Come on then.
3, 2, 1. I reckon it must be a bit of steel that's kind of got stuck halfway down, and then it's expanded, and then it's it needs breaking apart. I'd stopped doing plumbing because I didn't particularly enjoy it, and I'm not enjoying this. Right, so I've had a look at the part online for this drain hose, and it looks like, annoyingly, it's all one piece, which makes sense, but it's got like a rubber elbow on the end, and as plumbers know, an elbow when it comes to drainage is a point of potential blockage. But I can feel the blockage is right in that elbow, so to continue the theme of using the proper tools for the job, I've got a blackhead remover?
Yeah.
A blackhead remover, because I can't just keep poking something in because it's just going to compact that sort of hard sludging even more.
Try and hook it out.
Why did we sell the X5?
Okay, so we're getting sludged now. I think we just got to do that for a
I need
bit.
a little cup of water just to like keep washing it out. Yeah, go on then. Oh, hang on. Yeah, it's clear. I then turned my attention to the drain on the passenger side, and although it looked okay, obviously I was going to replace it as well, but when I tested it, I found that it wasn't draining very effectively. Draining very, very slowly. Very slowly. And boom. There we go. So it all looked a bit crispy, it looked like it was on there nice and secure, but look at underneath. Look, it's just a matter of time. And it's no wonder why it's going to get blocked up, because obviously little pieces of this corrosion is going to go down the line and then get stuck. Yeah, look, I just put a set of grips on this, look, and it just look, it's crumbling, the whole thing. God, I got to this one just in the nick of time. But the mad thing, look, I know I'm repeating myself, but this side didn't look that bad. So yours could look like this, or a car that you're looking to buy could look like this, and you think, oh look, it's not too bad, just draining, a bit slow. But it's just a matter of time before it fails like this. Look at that. That is crazy, that. Not even putting much pressure on that, and it's all just crumbling apart. Oh, there you go. That's the good side. God. Look at that. Rusted, corroded metal, all bunged up. And that's going to make its way, like it did on the other side, look at that, down your drain pipe, clog it up, cause a massive headache further down as well. All of that was in the good side that was still just about working. God, you need to get this done. You need to preempt it. Right, so now is the moment of truth. Will this finally work and drain away? Let's have a look. Looking good. Oh, that's draining away nicely. A lot quicker than the other side was doing, for obvious reasons. And now let's check the other side. If you remember, this was draining, but very slowly, because it was, even though it looks okay, it's full of crusting, corroding metal. So let's see how much quicker this goes now. Yeah, that's loads faster. You hear that gurgling away nicely. Right, so now we are finally watertight. I want to have a look under this carpet, because last week when I first discovered this problem, underneath this carpet is, wow, it's flooded, absolutely flooded. And I sucked loads of it out with a wet vac, you know, with a spot carpet vacuum cleaner. Loads of water, and got it all out the top of these carpets here as well. There we go. As you can see there, look, all rusted. Again, as I said already, the speaker system's not working. I'm going to need to source another amplifier. If anybody knows of one which is good and is cheap, please let me know. Give me an email. My email address will be below, or DM me on Instagram. And look, here's the problem. So you've got a layer of carpet, then, oh look, it's all started breaking up where I was ripping this up last week in a bit of a panic, trying to get the water out, so I've damaged the carpet there, which is annoying. But you've got the carpet, then you've got a plastic membrane underneath, which makes sense because if your rear occupant's getting in when it's raining, and then, you know, they've got water dripping off their boots and things like that, it means it's not going to go through to those modules underneath. But then underneath that membrane, you've got like a thick sponge, and this thick sponge, look, is sopping wet. Look at that. If I squeeze that, that is absolutely saturated in water, and I'm guessing that sponge goes all the way across. So potentially the sponge underneath this carpet is sopping wet. And the only way that I'm going to be able to get access to that, because I can't suck that up through with the wet vac, because there's that membrane there, so it won't be pulling from the sponge. So I'm going to have to take everything out, because this carpet's in one piece, isn't it? I'm going to have to take the front two seats out, maybe the center console, I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. Peel all this back, and so I can suck all of the moisture out of that sponge. Right, and to check if the water has gone to the driver's side front footwell as well. Oh God, yeah, flipping heck, absolutely sopping wet. Oh God, what a nightmare. Look, I'm gonna put this video out as is. One, because I think everyone needs to know about this as soon as possible. So if you know somebody else who's got an L405 Range Rover, particularly an early one, send them this video, because they need to know about this. Because if you can preempt it and get those drain connectors done before they fail, you will be able to prevent this from happening. And this is the nightmare, isn't it? Also, if you know anybody who's thinking about buying one of these, send them this video so they know about it. Because if you are looking to buy one of these, You don't need to take the roof trims off. See, look, I've just popped these back on just to show you. Just open up the panoramic sunroof and then have a little look in there, and then you'll be able to see. And if you can see that it's got a, a new connector on there, well then obviously it's had the problem addressed. If it hasn't though, and you can see loads of crusty, corroded, rusty metal, then you know that it is one which is going to fail. Look, the incredible thing is that this thing still works, even though it had that catastrophic failure. I don't know how long it was leaking for, but well, you can see how much water there is under the carpet. Look, mad thing, I think, is that I still really like this car. But I don't think I can honestly recommend going forward, 10 plus year old Range Rovers to be, dependable family dailies, primary family cars, because this is now acting like a weekend car, isn't it? But really, I now need to buy a daily for my wife's daily, don't I? Because this has let us down like this, and it's been a few other bits and pieces as well, to be honest. So I have now got the fun task of putting all of this back together, and I really hope you subscribe to the channel, because there will be a future... Yes, sweetie? Can I come in with you? Yeah, of course you can.
With my Switch?
With your Switch, you can come in. Because there will be a part 2 to this video coming soon, where I've put it all back together, and then we've got to deal with all of that water under this carpet. How far has that water gone? How many modules and electrical components have been damaged? How much am I going to have to replace? And if anybody can help me, if you've got any ideas, any leads on some cheap parts, and also let us know in the comments below, did they use this steel guttering system on the panoramic sunroofs for all L405s? Did they use it on Range Rover Sports as well? If you've got any information on that, let me know in the comments below, and I'll try and get all information together, and then in part 2 I'll make a more comprehensive look. This is how much of an issue this thing is, how many vehicles it affects. I need you guys to reach out, comment below, send me an email if you can help out in any way, because look, these are wonderful cars. They really are. If ever you want an example of just how good a Range Rover is, you've seen this complete nightmare that I've been through, and I still can't wait to just get this all back to working as it should, so we can just float around in it as a family, because when it's working, there's nothing quite... That will work, will it? Yeah, there's nothing quite like a Range Rover. That's how good they are. But they're just a pain, aren't they? Are we going to have to buy Mummy another daily for her daily?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we might.
Dad, what's a daily?
A daily is a car that you drive every day. Please remember to like this video. I know the vast majority of my viewers watch on TV, and it's really hard to like a YouTube video on TV, but I'd really appreciate it, because for some reason my likes just aren't that high at the moment. Share this video, like I say, with other people as well. Look, this isn't about drama, this is about informing people so that we can look after and prevent this from happening to other cars out there, because I think it's going to happen to all of them that have got this same design. And a huge thank you as always to our long-term channel partners, Multimac, the world's only 3 and 4 across child seat and neck space dash cams. Promo code Dadcars saves you 15% off. I'll see you on the next one.